we're back, and today we're going to be doing numbers 21, 20, and 19 in our Amazing Race winner rankings. So starting off with number 21, Tyler and James. They won season 10 and 4 legs. They were what we call the epitome of a dude team.
Yes, and so a dude team we define as a team of usually 2 young men who run the race, usually with a kind of a carefree attitude. They like to flirt with other racers during the race, and often do a lot better than you think you would do because they don't seem to be taking it seriously. And as the name suggests, they say the word dude a lot.
A lot, yeah. And usually with dude teams, they are kind of boring.
Yeah, unless you like listening to people say dude and bro a lot.
Yeah, they said that a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they actually also were a racing team and they won. So let's talk about this dominant team of the season, Tyler and James.
Yeah, so they did have a flirtatious rivalry with fellow racers Dustin and Candace, who I love.
Yeah,
love you guys.
Dustin and Candace were a great team, and they had this kind of banter back and forth. Sometimes they were competing with each other, sometimes they were kind of flirting with each other. So it's a dynamic that lasted for much of the season. And again, typical of many dude teams.
Yeah. They did beat some really good teams with Robin, Kimberly, Lynn, and Carlin, who were the first all-female team to make the top 3.
Yay, Lynn and Carlin.
Yes.
Yes, shout out.
Dustin and Candace, and Irwin and Godwin.
We love Irwin and Godwin too. And one exception I would say as far as Rob and Kimberly is that when they're throwing tomatoes at villagers, they're actually really entertaining.
Yeah.
So we should note that exception.
They did beat some annoying teams too, from what the edit showed, like Rob and Kimberly.
They show up in a lot of our lists for
yeah.
this season.
Except when they were throwing tomatoes.
Right.
That they weren't annoying and they were just funny. Peter and Sarah.
But we love Sarah.
Yes, we love Sarah. You were awesome. And Kelly and Jamie.
Yeah, so they beat a number of teams that we weren't real fans of either, as long as with some really strong teams.
Yeah. They were recovering drug addicts, and they still won the race, which was very impressive.
Right, so we give them a lot of credit for showing that can be done and showing that recovery is something that can still lead to great success.
Yes. Moving on to number 20, we have TK and Rachel. They won season 12 and 3 legs.
TK and Rachel, the very calm, almost zen-like team.
Yeah. They did get one on a limb, so that is something we have to factor in when we are ranking these.
Absolutely, and we have done that. Other than that, though, we have pretty much a lot of positive things to say about TK and Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel is amazing. Love TK too, but Rachel was just awesome at roadblocks and all the challenges. She did more roadblocks than TK, which we don't see very often with 6 to 5. And there was one challenge where they had to pull up furniture a tall distance, and TK could not do it, but Rachel could, and that was really impressive.
Really impressive, and often we see when you have a man-woman team, the man will try to dominate, and sometimes the woman will go along with it. That you didn't have that with TK and Rachel. Rachel was very impressive, and doing more roadblocks than TK, I think, has got to be really rare. I don't think that's probably happened a whole lot of times in the race.
Yeah.
And TK was totally okay with it, so he didn't, his masculinity was not threatened, and so they made for a good couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were a very nice couple. They were really nice to each other and really nice to the other teams, which you don't see very often on the race.
Yeah, they were just very, very chill, and everyone seemed to like them.
Yeah, they could be a bit boring at times, because they were so nice. They didn't really have any drama or anything with other teams, so they were just kind of there.
Yeah, boring is kind of the Chris and John sense from season 3, was it? Season 6, yeah.
But it also in the in-love couple sense, too.
Just like Chris and John.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We love Chris and John, so
Yes,
shout out to them wherever they are.
Yeah. They were members of one of the best Final Threes of all time with Ron and Christina and Nick and Dawn. amazing.
You know, what a great group that was. You know,
Yeah.
just, you could root for any of those three and you'd be happy with the winner.
Yeah.
So what just a fantastic final three to watch.
And there was no dominant team that season, so they really just all won.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Everyone had a shot, right?
Yeah.
Teams won 2-3 legs. No one really broke out of the pack, and so it was kind of exciting to see go into the finale thinking anyone could pull this out.
Yeah. Rachel did pass up Christina in the final memory challenge, which was the final challenge of the whole race, which was a roadblock, and Rachel did it, and Christina from Ron and Christina also did it. And Ron and Christina were ahead of TK and Rachel throughout the leg, but Rachel was able to pass up Christina on this challenge.
It was a really great challenge too. It was like artifacts from previous legs of the race, including like human artifacts too. And so it was one of those where you have to put it in order based upon memory. And as you said, Christina had the lead and was only one answer away from getting it all right and from winning the whole race. One answer away, but Rachel came in and passed her up.
Yeah.
And it was a really tight finish, one of the closest in the history of the race. And so really exciting. And again, another example of Rachel really rising to the occasion, even though she's this quiet little person who you don't really think is going to be this dynamo, but she definitely was.
Yeah. They did beat some really good and strong teams with Ron and Christina, Nick and Dawn, Nate and Jennifer, Kent and Vixen, and Zaria and Hendekia.
And we love Kent and Vixen too, so we want to give them a shout out as well.
Moving on to number 19, Riken and Chip. They won season 4 and 2 legs.
Yeah, and they have the distinction of being the first gay team to win the Amazing Race.
Yeah, so congratulations, you guys. But along with that, they did have to battle some homophobia along the race.
Yeah, there were some moments that were a little bit hard to watch, particularly the rock climbing challenge where there's some sort of stereotype language that was thrown their way, and that's really unfortunate. But they, you know, kept their wits about them, stayed focused, and stayed strong, even though it was a really difficult situation.
Yeah, and that just showed how strong of a team they were.
Yeah, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Riken was a member of the military and had to deal with some discrimination when he was a member, and some of the other teams were very supportive of him and Chip, so that was really nice.
Yeah, so there were other moments then that were good to see, right?
Yeah.
Were positive and supportive, and so that was awesome for those teams that did that.
They were a really nice couple. They were really nice to each other and to the other racers.
Yeah, they had a really good relationship and could really rely on each other, and it ended up, I think, just the strength of their connection really helped them through so much of the challenges that they had of the race.
Yeah. They did have a really good final leg, flawless. It was amazing.
Yeah, and I still remember to this day that even though they didn't really have a perfect leg, even in the legs they won, that final leg was still one of the best that anyone has ever run. And so, like you said, it was flawless and allowed them to kind of dominate the end, even when they really hadn't dominated any leg the entire season, and made them very deserving of that win.
Yes. So, say what you thought of these rankings in the comments. If you thought one of them should be number 1, if you thought one of them should be ranked last, say that.
Let us know, and the teams are going to keep getting better and better, because we are now inside the top 20 of all Amazing Race winners.
Yeah, so stay tuned for numbers 18, 17, and 16, and we'll see you guys. Are you kidding?
Sorry.
Mother!
Blooper! Hey y'all, we're back, and today we're going to be doing numbers 21, 20. I can't.
Can you cut that out?
Heidi,
I'll take over solo now. Let's continue. 20, 21, and 25.